Hi there, and welcome back to another episode on Let's Talk Football Careers with myself, Barry, and today's special guest, Roy McDonough. How are you doing, son?
All good, thanks. Just come off
Thanks,
the
son.
beach, 38 degrees.
38 degrees. I was the same over here, reporting for Alcudia and Legends, Barry. What a place this is, by the way. I've got your picture up here that you sent, and this was when you played with Johan Cruyff, eh?
Well, that's when Johan asked for a picture with me so he could put that on his wall.
Amazing. It's some place, eh? If you ever get a chance to come down and visit, it's minted
Yeah.
like, eh? But just to summarise, Roy, right? You played over 650 games, scored over 140 goals, and it was a playing career that spanned over 20 years. And you've got the recognisable distinction. You've been sent off more than any other British player in football. Eh? It was 22 times, I believe, you've been sent off, eh?
You know what's funny? I can think of two more, but I can't really mention because I actually guested for me and Ian Atkins, who played at Everton, Ipswich, we grew up as kids in Sheldon, Birmingham, who become professional footballers. And
Right.
once with my brother, three brothers are playing, we were a player short. So Ian looked at me, I looked at him, he went, "Go on, you can play." I got sent off with about 20 minutes ago. So it's 23, really.
We'll not bother counting that one. You've got enough, eh?
Enough to be counted.
You've got a book out though as well, eh? Red Card Roy, I believe it's called, eh?
You know what, mate? It's when Bernie Friend phoned me, a lad from Colchester was doing something for me. He used to come around my house when I lived in Colchester, and it was all a bit weak and a bit sloppy, really. Then Bernie Friend phoned me, who worked at Southend, worked for the Daily Mirror, Sunday People, and News of the World.
Yeah.
Now, Bernie said to me I was his favourite player at Southend over the years, blah, blah, blah. So I was working in Portugal then. He flew out to Portugal. We spent 8 days around the swimming pool, drinking beer. He prompted me like you're going to prompt me now.
Mm-hmm.
And we wrote the book. And he said he used to send me every chapter. I could script it and say, add this, add that. And to be fair, it came out a bestseller. John Motson said, best book he's ever read. Which should do for... Yeah, nice.
When did that come out then?
Crikey. It's 9 and 10 years. It's got to be 9 and 10 years.
As much as that. Would you ever do another book? Would you do an update again, or is that you done with it?
You know, looking at it, it went down really well. Clearly, edited and edited and what's the other word? When they cut bits out, they cut lots of stuff.
Oh
out.
yeah, the monologues and all that, and scripted.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, did another one. Well, they couldn't write. To be honest,
You couldn't make it up, eh? You couldn't make it up, honestly. Some of the stories. I'm looking here, though, right? For what I've noticed as well, right? For you dipped your toe into management as well as an extensive playing career, but you also played with 6 of the 11 starting lineup in the 1966 World Cup, eh?
You know what? Looking back, I think I probably did. Which, when you look, you know, over a career, which I said the other day that maybe could it have been better? Yeah, you need a bit of luck in life in most things you do. I left Birmingham City that weekend and I'd signed for Walsall full time. Got man of the match against Swindon. We beat them 4-1, which I remember clearly. But the Saturday I made my debut at Walsall and I was 19 then. I've got a 3-year contract with Jim Smith. So obviously, Trevor Francis did his knee tendon and Keith Bircham broke his leg. So I was going to go straight in. How long I would have lasted is another story. But at 17, I could play at that level. So you just don't know.
But you brought up in a really hard area. Is that what, I mean, in the environment you were brought up in, is that sort of what moulded you as a player, do you think?
Well, I said a couple of things. I came from a family of 6. I've got a twin brother and 2 older brothers, all good sportsmen. And maybe the competitive edge in me, I became the professional. So God love them. They spent their whole life following me around the country. When they would all swap boots with me in a heartbeat. The day I signed for Birmingham City and become a professional, which was probably 75, 76, look, generally 5, 6, 7 million boys would have swapped places with me to become a professional footballer. So
right now,
weren't all bad. It's just, you know, listen, we're all a bit stupid when we're a bit younger. I was headstrong, and listen, I was strong. We was born in Solihull, which is now Solihull, Birmingham. So technically, it was classed as quite a posh area. It was Church of England 3 days a week, walking down to the frigging church to talk crap about all that stuff. To be honest, I couldn't look back. My dad was great. Dad saw something in me. And
Yeah.
people forget, when I signed schoolboys for Aston Villa at 14, I did my dad signed because Dad had to take me to all the games.
Yeah.
So not just you signing, your parents do at the same time. And as long as they're committed, and God love them, listen, this is boring, but when I walked my team out at Wembley in 92 to win the League and Cup double, 39 members of my family were in next to the Royal Box.
Brilliant.
Hey, my dad said, God love him, it was the best day of his life. So paid him back slightly.
It's nice. I mean, as a parent, to have that as well, it must be amazing. But could you talk us through your first card, red card at 15-year-olds? I've got written down here. You strangled the referee. Would you like to elaborate on that a wee bit more?
Well, you know what? To be honest, he was too frigging big to be fair. But we were playing in a Birmingham Schools Cup final at Henry Road, where Birmingham District played, where I should play for the district. So we were the pick of the Birmingham players in the whole of Birmingham at the same ground called Henry Road. We had a cup final. We were playing Sir Wilfrid Martineau. Linden High School were a school of 900 pupils. Sir Wilfrid Martineau, something like 8,000. And the irony is, the captain of Sir Wilfrid Martineau, Mick Rathbone, who went on to play for Blackburn, played for Birmingham, was also a physio of England, physio at Everton Football Club. A good mate of mine, Mick. He captained Sir Wilfrid Martineau. I captained Linden High School. So without going into too much detail, that lad up front, centre forward, he kept chipping away at me because he knew I was one of the best players in Warwickshire.
Yeah.
And we're 1-0 down. I scored from centre half. I was playing at the back, and I broke from at the back and made it 1-1. Then they break it, and Mick broke with this lad, the centre forward. I volleyed the centre forward straight across the 18-yard box. Penalty. Well, my mate Mick took the penalty, so I'm giving him a load of ag and verbal about the penalty. Right. So we're still 1-1. Then with 10 minutes to go, the bloke's done it again, the centre forward. We clearly weren't getting on. And the referee pulled me, and I knew straight away what he was going to do. But he was the what do you call him? He was the head teacher of Coxet Hill Guys High School, who was our biggest rival in the region of Birmingham, in the area. And I thought he was going to send me off there. So he pulled me, and I could see him reach for his pocket. He was about 6'3", 15 stone. The red mist dropped. When the red mist gets so far, it dropped well below the eye line. So I picked him up by his neck and I said, "You ain't going to effing dare do what you're going to do." And he went bump, straight red. So at the end of it, which again I'm not proud of now, I actually captain of the losing team to my silver medal. So I picked it, I threw it into the crowd who were clapping Wilfrid Martineau for winning the cup, blah, blah, blah. I got 3 more.
Oh, for goodness. And that kind of cost you your time at Aston Villa, and that was when you said you moved on to Birmingham, but you were managed by Sir Alf Ramsey as well, I believe, eh?
And here's a great line from Sir Alf. I'm an 18-year-old kid. We walked off the training ground. Kenny Burns, Trevor Francis, Howard Kendall, Joe Gallagher, Terry Ibbett, going back in the 70s, all top players.
Yeah, household names.
Yeah, Sir Alf pulled me. I'd trained with the first team for a few weeks. He went, "Roy, I'd just like to say, you're coming with me the weekends. You're in my first team squad." He put me on the bench at Middlesbrough away. And he said, "I put you in the first team squad because I think you're a jolly good footballer." I'm 18. Right? I went home without thinking too much about it till I told Mum and Dad. And Jesus. And my brothers went, "What? Sir Alf Ramsey?" Because when you're in the football world, you take an awful lot for granted.
Yeah.
Obviously, then I'm thinking, well, I knew I could play. I was on the fringe of the first team. But Sir Alf, what a great little line, because I think you're a jolly good footballer.
It's amazing, eh? I think football moved on too quick for him. He was too nice, eh?
Without shadow. Listen, we'll go back further on. Sir Bobby Moore, and it was Sir Bobby Moore all day long. He was too nice. He was obviously a natural footballer. I've seen managers since. When you're that natural, how do you coach a player on the training ground to do what you do so natural? You don't understand why you're doing it.
Yeah.
So trying to vocally explain why you're doing it, perhaps it's not that easy.
No.
But just like Sir Alf, different class, just great, amazing people.
And do you think, I mean, you learnt, even though you were 2 years at Birmingham then before you moved on to Walsall, do you think you learnt a lot from Alf Ramsey at the time then, aye?
Yeah. Looking back, when I became a manager, I wasn't the nicest manager in the world because
Yeah.
you trust in players, they'll use and abuse you. Listen, you've done things in your life, you think, crikey, I looked after him, I've done well for him.
Yeah.
Use and abuse you. It's not a nice place to be because you're a genuine person. Looking back at Sir Alf, I learnt more, as silly as it sounds, Ken Oliver, Geordie. He worked with me at Birmingham. He was an old centre forward, but about 5'9", 5'10", but a good centre forward. And he taught me how to lead the line, look after the ball for your team, don't keep taking the ball out. I could run in those days. Took it up, spinning centre backs. He said, Roy, protect the ball. Your centre half just put his head in there, got a smack in the head. The midfield players want to tackle, he gives you the ball, look after the ball. I probably, without being rude here, I learned more off Ken than Sir Alf, apart from what you would learn from Sir Alf and Sir Bobby Moyes. If you're a gentleman, whatever you do, don't get involved in football.
No, and it's got that. I mean, it's got a hold on you because you've got the talent there, and it's all you know. I mean, if you weren't a football player, what do you think you would have ended up doing?
No one's ever asked me, really. I mean, since I've come out of football, everything I've done, car salesman, sold houses in Spain. I work for Currencies Direct still to this day, which is a currency company. But the irony is, whatever I've done, I've always been number one.
And that's attitude. That's attitude.
And it's attitude and drive, maybe frame.
Application, aye.
Absolutely. So the football world teaches you a lot. And if I said to my brothers now, I remember 3 or 4 years ago, I went back to Birmingham to do a place in the sun for the company, Currencies Direct. About 8 staff came with me. I was the leader of the region, the number one salesman by a country mile, blah, blah, blah. So I took him for a curry with my twin brother and his partner. And one of the girls said to my twin brother, Gary McDonough, Gaz, what did you want to be when you was younger with Roy? I just footballer. And God sort of got me emotional because I thought, God love him. But dad or the family or life didn't give him. If someone took the ball off me, I would scratch, bite, spit, whatever I could to get back off him. My twin did it. So obviously the difference was, and you look at Wayne Rooney, you look at some of the top boys, there's an edge to them. Referees used to say off the pitch, big fella, you're such a nice lad off the pitch. You're so, you buy people drinks, you're laughing. I said, yeah, but when I'm on the pitch, it's my job. Whatever it takes to win 3 points and do my job. And that's what taught me all my life, really. So every day I've been number one.
Aye, and it's always been the way you've put yourself across. And now you've gotten a lot of scraps and whatnot. But I mean, I read that you've stuck an elbow into Tony Adams, you've stuck an elbow into Steve Bruce. There's no respect there. It's when you're on that pitch, and after it. I mean, do you speak to these guys now? And
obviously not. Obviously, but listen, I've met Tony come on a sponsorship thing when I was at Mitsubishi cars before BMW. And when you meet a professional footballer, they're street kids. They're all. There's 2.5%, 3% in my day who are a bit, and the London boys can be a bit flash and get you off a bad name. But 97, 98% of the footballers are good as gold. Not anymore, mate. Not anymore. You look at some of these idiots play for Chelsea with the dreadlocks and the kamikaze haircut.
Oh, I know. It's like...
But back in our day, you meet any footballer, all good as gold, and respect, mutual respect. Listen, was I a tough guy? I don't think so. But what I did when I played, I gave heart and soul. I was brave. If the ball got knocked into the box and I could get half an inch to head it, I'd throw my body, my head, and ball, and accept the consequences. Look at Steve Bruce looks like he's walked into 14 double-decker buses. His nose is all across his face. When the ball came in, he put his head in. Tony, scars, you've got scars around your eyebrows and bits and bobs. Good, honest, genuine, professional footballers doing their job. When you're centre up, you put your head in.
And that's what the fans like. I mean, as a supporter, I mean, all we ask is you give 100%, you put your body on the line, and you fight for a badge. And there's not enough of that anymore.
There's none of it.
No. I mean, could you imagine you try to play with VAR?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Across, but they don't cross it. So when they go out wide, and back in the day, the basics were get 1 against 1 with a fullback, Run on the outside and try and pull it back from the byline, or if he sits off you, cross it across him into the box. Now, midfield players run beyond the defending line, behind the fullback, to block the wide man being 1 against 1. And I'm thinking, if I'm a manager, see him, I've said it in the media, Jack Grealish, Doku, Man City, the top wide men, Nunes, I think it's Nunes or something like that.
Yeah, aye.
Then they check back and go square.
That's the frustrating bit, yep.
As a manager, I'd find every time you check back when you're 1 against 1, £1,000. Go to charity. I'm going to find you.
Aye.
Jack Grealish, when he was at Villa, was like, they called him a maverick. He went outside, inside people, did all his own thing. Don't get me wrong, Pep is an unbelievable coach. But he's out of certain things. I'd find them at £1,000 every time. I'd say Jack Grealish over 90 minutes, 10, 15 grand. Doing it. Go back to basics. When you're 1 against 1, go on the outside and cross it, or check inside and flip it across the face of the penalty spot.
Aye, that's always the way to do it. How do you think you would have got on with VAR? And you're
I'd be in the office, mate. I'd be getting on taxis. I'd be knocking people out all day long.
Be fucking demented, eh?
Yeah, because it's wrong. It's good. The idea was great. The goal when Sheffield United got relegated against Aston Villa, or the other way around, Villa scored and the goalkeeper had the ball under his armpit, and the goalkeeper couldn't give the decision.
No.
In the line, perfect. Offside goal. It's got to become a nonsense now because you've got a fingernail past the line of the.
Yep.
You can't score a goal with an arm, so there's no one. You can't score with an arm, so forget that nonsense. And what it's gone to another level where, and you've heard it on the media, they're saying, "Well, what would you? What would you?" What they do is they crap themselves, give it back. Now, time out. One thing can happen: a camera can never lie. Is he a toenail offside? But a toenail's not a full advantage. If he's a complete leg or foot beyond the centre half,
it's different. Yeah,
yard advantage. If his arm's beyond the defender, you can't score with an arm, so it's not an unfair advantage.
No.
What they've done now is it's gone to a level where you think, well, it's just become a frigging nonsense. It's a nonsense, mate.
Yes. I mean, how do you feel watching football nowadays? You must get so frustrated watching the games on, your Sky TV and that. You must just, all the ex-footballers your age are the same. They say they're so frustrated watching games, eh?
I had a soft spot for Man City for 2 or 3 years because Pep, home and away, set up to win. He'd overpass it at times. And I'll come back seconds about Marmoush got goal of the season. He shot from 35 yards.
Yeah, it's like
effing fuming because you don't shoot. Try another pass and knock a ball in there and see what happens. Goal of the season in the Premier League, Marmoush 35 yards.
Aye.
In the season, Guardiola scored 3 headers from crosses, checks back, and just bent crosses in. I'm thinking Pep will have to give a little bit here, but over 50, Pep's been the best manager in world football.
Yeah, 100%.
So you've got a multi-millionaire manager, Arteta, bag of bollocks. The Chelsea manager, bag of bollocks.
Yeah.
Hope for a counter-attack. Hope for a worldie, a 35-yard worldie, or park the bus, see if we can nick a result.
Oh, aye.
5, 6, 7 games, that ain't very entertaining.
No.
And unfortunately, Pep, I hope Pep changes a bit this year. So let them shoot from 35 yards. Let them cross balls in. Arling 6'4" can edit, and just take the edge off the controlling of where you can't say to these players when they're in the attacking third, look, come back this way, check. No. Give them the next. Let them go. Like Marmoush went, I'm 35 yards out there. I can hit this. It's good strike. Goal of the season. And I think it was the last game of the Man City season. They beat someone, might have been 2-1 Everton or someone. And at the time, it was 0-0 after an hour. It was crap because they'd been stifled by the opposition, 10 behind the ball. Then he's a worldie. Well, guess what? If you don't try, you ain't ever going to risk.
That's it, aye. If you didn't play, yeah.
4 goals, risk reward. Is the reward worth the risk? I'm going to hit a 70-yard pass cross field to Beckham and takes good touch, crosses it. It's a goal. Risk reward. There's none of that anymore.
No. Can I ask, who's the best manager you worked under, do you feel?
Sir Bobby, I loved him because Sir Bobby was such a character, but Jim Smith, by country
Jim
mile.
Smith, aye. Aye. I spoke to somebody else. I mean, who did Jim Smith manage? Can you go off the top of your head? Can you mind who Jim Smith managed? So I spoke to somebody else and they were saying the same. They said he was phenomenal, eh?
You know what? He was just honest on the track. I was a teenager, and you're playing at a 5-6 aside, and if you give the ball away, he would grab you by the neck. What's effing doing? The ball is that important to us to keep it. Do not risk that. Try that. Do it this way. Smithy was a good player in his 40s on the training ground, but what you got from him, it was brutal. Don't get me wrong, it was brutal. It was personal, but what it did teach you, if you had anything about you, well, actually, it's right there. Why risk flicking the ball, trying a stupid trick there and give the ball away? Your team's worked hard to win it. So percentages, if you're better there, when you get in the attacking third with someone with a bit more skill who has the ball, let him do his skills and it'll create goal scoring opportunities. And all ever come from Smithy, 100% from the heart, honest. If you're a footballer, you can't help but relate to that.
Aye, and it's just work. It's just sort of being managed by the working man. Eh? I mean, it's the same in my job. If somebody treats you with respect and somebody will show you, you know, the same enthusiasm as what you've got for the game, you work harder for them. Eh? It's natural. Eh?
Well, listen, I become the player manager at Colchester. I was 33. In my day, I had another couple of 3 years left, which luckily I lasted. When I got the job, the players knew we had a pre-season friendly that afternoon at Halstead Town. And Halstead Town is you get to the top of the high street, you turn left, go down the hill, and at the bottom, going towards the football ground, is a 90-degree right turn, a set of traffic lights with a big pub right. So I'm there for the game. As I get to the traffic lights, my whole first team squad came out the pub, all got pints in their hands, sprayed my car in champagne as I turned right to the pre-season friendly. They were so pleased I got the job because, you know, they could relate to me. I never cheated them. I was honest with them. I told them how I wanted to be. I helped them. Listen, I could out-drink them. I could out-fight them. I could out-shag them. I couldn't be in any shape or form. And what it did, built a self-respect or a respect level where Smithy had it at Birmingham at a higher level. Every player put a brick wall for him because I loved him. When players love him, do whatever you ask him to do.
The best managers I've sort of heard from guys like yourself, the best managers are ones that can keep everybody happy, treat everybody the same, let them know they've got the same opportunities. And you're right, they always take them for a drink as well. Winning teams back in the day, certainly when you played, they were closer than any other group of guys because you're spending more time with these guys than your own partners sometimes, eh?
Well, you know what? The so-called team building, the bond, and you've heard it a million times, win or lose on the booze. When I got the job, after the pre-season friendly, the next morning I had a meeting with all the players. It was on the news then that Roy McDonough got the player manager's job, blah, blah, blah. And I just said, listen, I ain't going to beat you up. I'm not going to ask you to do anything I haven't done or anything because I've done it all. I've played right back. I've played goalkeeper, played centre, left side midfield, centre field, and I've been 400 odd games as a centre forward. So I'm not going to ask you to do anything I've not done. But if you do it my way, think of it. When I look back and go, crikey, that was a good team talk. Do it my way. We'll have the word for word. We'll have the biggest beano of our lives.
And it's trying to make sure that you find the line between playing at your best ability and also enjoying yourself as well, because all the enjoyment's gone for it now. Eh? It's all sports science and dietary and all that. Eh? And you could now. I've seen you drinking pints upside down and everything. Eh? It's like such a different time. Eh?
What you just said, the fun. And when watching football, when I'm fighting centre half, I'm fighting Tony Adams, I'm fighting Steve Bruce, and the fans go, I like to look at this because it's a physical battle, not just the ball, but I'm battling the ball for my team against a 6'3" unit who don't look a mug and get mugged off by the centre forward. So I'm going to fight him, sneak up behind you and give you some stick, blah, blah, blah. But then what happens, the mutual respect grows between home and away, players, opponents. And that's where, in my day, it was a great game to play because you knew I'm playing him today. I'm going to get booted from pillars to post, but after the game, we'll shake hands. We'll go and pint. But now, like you say, it's just become. It's not enjoyable. It's not fun. I can't. You don't. Here's another thing. Who's the manager? He said to me, Roy Keane said on one of his podcasts, I didn't like players that smiled. But you know, when games were going well and you was playing well, you was always smiling. I loved it. Meant they were doing well. They was enjoying themselves. That means if that, guess what? The crowd and the fans are enjoying it.
Yeah, and the perfect example of that's Paul Gascoigne, who you shared the pitch with when you played against Tottenham, eh?
I got man of the match that day, to be fair.
What was that game like? The game that you played against Tottenham, you won 3-2, but went out on over 2 legs, I believe. Eh? You got sent off in that game as well, funnily enough. Eh?
127 minutes, to be fair. The first leg, I'd been suspended, and Dave Webb, bless him, who we had a few fallouts, me and Dave, he signed a lad called Mario Walsh from Colchester. I call him the Lounge Lizard, big Italian, big looking, big mullet, blah, 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 similar build. And Dave signed because I wouldn't sign a contract. I was on a weekly contract because he offered me a crap deal. I was 31. Anyway, I played the game, and we played Sheffield United the game before. Mario went about 8 games without scoring a goal. And I'm on the bench and I'm spitting feathers. I'm causing in the dressing room because I knew I should be playing. So we beat Sheffield United 2-0 on the Saturday at home. I made the first, got the second. I made the first for Crowley. So on the Tuesday night, we're playing Tottenham in the second leg. Because Mario played up front in his first leg at White Hart Lane. When I'd destroyed the centre-back, so I thought they wouldn't handle me physically. Anyway, I play in the second leg. I get man of the match. I hit the crossbar. I made 2 of the 3 goals, blah, blah, blah. Then Crown hit the post in the 126th minute to make it 4-2. Bearing in mind, we were 4th division, top of the 4th division.
Yeah.
Tottenham was a full international footballer, every single one. But Paul Shute got sent off. Robbo got him sent off after about half an hour. 127 minutes. I'm tracking back. I never couldn't be bothered because I thought we can track back instead of me. 120 minutes. I'm tracking back with David Howells, and right in front of the dugouts and all the Tottenham fans that side of the pitch, he dropped his shoulder and dummied me. And as he's gone past me, I've took him out like a bag of shit. To be fair, because I'm going to be tired after 127 minutes. Straight off I went, but then after the bar, I got man of the match.
There you go. And I mean, I think if you try to take that aspect away from your game, I mean, I had a chat with you off, before we done this podcast, and I think if we took that away from your game, it's all fine and well saying, oh, you wouldn't have been suspended, you wouldn't have had so many incidents, but at the same time, that would have took the sort of mentality and attitude of what you were, eh? I mean, you had players beat in the dressing room, they would have been shitting themselves before they came up against yourself, eh?
Well, you know what's nice, and whenever I go back to Southend, Colchester, or ex-teams I played for, apart from teams when I was drunk for 2 years, which I'm not, but every player had the utmost respect for me, as did the fans and the managers put up with me. Dave Webb, I think I got 7 sent off 7 times at Southend, and me and Webby went toe to toe, went head, thinking I've dropped a major wicket here. But when I left, he gave me a big hug, kissed me on the cheek. He said, I loved you. Thinking, crikey, when I first come to Southend, I shook hands with him to go to Bournemouth many before when I was at Warsaw. Then Chelsea. So I go to Chelsea for 30 grand. I mean, where would you? Chelsea or freaking Bournemouth? Where did you give me for that? It took me about 2 years to win him over at Southend. In the end, it was good as gold. But again, I think he knew you put your hat on me. I put my hat on him. Don't matter if he's had 4 fights the night before, been with 2 birds, whatever. Come kick in Roy Keane, Beckham, Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt, Wayne Rooney. The people put your ass on, don't matter what they've done and what they're doing. When you've got players, you've got half a chance.
It's all about the heart and the effort that they make, and fans relate to that. I mean, as long as we see over that 90 minutes that you're giving it everything, and I mean, obviously winning things and that helps as well. But you touched into Chelsea there. I mean, you worked under Jeff Hurst, but I didn't believe that wasn't a great experience for you at all. That nearly fucked your career, in your words.
To be fair, I put it in the book. I was going to back the game in. I signed a contract, was on good money, and I played football league for 2 years, nearly 100 league games, 2 divisions below Chelsea. Chelsea in the second division then. And I signed for Jeff Hurst, and he knocked me a few quid on signing on fee, but I'm Chelsea. I've now worked my back up after Warsaw, back into a decent level of football. The Birmingham Mail, 100, 200,000, McDonough's back where he should be playing at a better level, blah, blah, blah. Mate, it was like Fred Carno Circus. It was absolute Chelsea Football Club, and there's a geezer there called Brian Eastick. I hope he sees this podcast. Big boy, 6'3", the bibs and ball carrier, the stopwatch, clipboard Charlie, couldn't stand the geezer.
No.
He went to be on a coach at England, he coached Brentford, Fulham, an absolute prick of the highest. I saw him tomorrow, and it sounds harsh. I'm nearly 67. I'd just knock him out.
Is it honestly? It's still stuck in you.
On me playing in the reserves. I think I scored 2-3 hat-tricks in Chelsea. Chelsea, when I left, I didn't realise I left about October. Been there about 6 months. Walked out on a 4-year deal. Went to Colchester. I used to phone my mother from the phone box, and I'd cry because I was a family of 6. Never lived away from my family before. All different things will build up. Blah blah blah. I'm playing the stiffs, scoring goals for fun. The first team couldn't buy a goal. Colin Lee, of all people, who was nice lad, Colin, thinking, how on earth I'm not playing this first team? And I was going to pack the game in. And then I remember my dad, God love him, he let me leave Birmingham to go to Warsaw. Should have gone on loan. But I went on a 2-year contract. When I left Chelsea, I went to Colchester United. Drove down the A12, my Dolomite Sprint, because I like my car, blah, blah, blah. Signed a 2.5-year contract. Went to the hotel. Fact, no agents. I thought, what league is this fucking mob playing? I thought, what league that? I picked up the local rag, the Evening Gazette. Oh, they're in the 4th division. I didn't know what, or 3rd division. I didn't know what league they played in. Get back to playing.
But you wanted to play and you wanted to get the love of the game back again, and that's invaluable, regardless of what level you're at. You need to be enjoying that again,
Well, when you think you're 21, 22, you're still headstrong, you believe in yourself, of course you do. On the back of the Chelsea thing, I just think Sir Jeff Hurst, he's now Sir, and the number 2 is Bobby Gould. I'm going, it was Fred Carno, Sir. And I'm living in Dix. I was supposed to be in a hotel thinking, well, okay, single bloke living away from your family, but I'll be in a nice hotel. Put me in Dix, in the council estate in Hayes, Middlesex. I'm going, fucking hell, I've made the big time here, haven't I? I mean, funny enough, the people that lived there were Birmingham people. And here's a quick one, which when I'm thinking, my naive, I'm thinking, crikey, she's got a couple of young kids. She might be a bit of a sort here, I might get lucky. 2.5 stone, stretched frigging lycra straws wrapped round her arse. She was a bag of bollocks. That didn't work out too well either.
I read that you shagged about 400 birds, your book says.
At least.
At least. That must have been a busy weekend.
Well, bad year.
And you had a Miss World as well in your locker, I believe, or very close to a Miss World,
Miss UK. She was in
Miss
the top
UK.
day on Central TV or ITV. They'd have Miss Kingdom. Kevin Dillon at Birmingham took her out for a while. My brother wined and dined her, didn't get anywhere close to her. I actually bought half a lager and a pound of petrol and knocked the bollocks out of her.
That's amazing, amazing. And I mean, you were saying too, you never got many a knockback though, did you?
No, to be fair, no. I mean, I think maybe because of my dad. My dad had the cheek of, he just had, my dad was a charmer. And I think, my long line, my dad had the cheek of the devil. And I think, so touch would never got a slap in my life.
Nah, but you were saying that as well. I mean, you grew up with 4 brothers as well, and that's toughened you up. That's made you mentally strong as well, obviously.
Well, looking back, you're a kid, and my twins similar build. My 2 brothers were bigger than me. My hero as a teenager was my big brother, because I saw him at St Andrews in a Birmingham Cup final for Linden High School, the school I went to. And I'm thinking, I remember looking back, I suppose I'll be like 13, 14. I'm thinking, even at that age, I was a good cricketer. I could have gone to Warwickshire County at 14. And then Villa came in, blah, blah, blah. And I remember being at St Andrews behind the golf. That's my brother playing. I'm thinking, I like this.
I want a bit of that.
And I think this is where I want to be. And then, of course, through being single-minded as a teenager, my brothers were in the pub at 15, 16. I didn't drink a pint like I was 19. To prove I could be a footballer. I'd earned the right to be a footballer. And, of course, 18, 19 years down the line, after 600 odd games, people respected me because, you know what? Was I the best? I could have been better, 100%. When I played, I gave 101% of what I had, and people expected whatever I did, whatever position I played. And looking back, I think I'm quite proud of that because people go, high regard for you, high regard.
Yeah.
Another great line from Dad. Whatever you do, wherever you go, always leave a mark. And it's an old bollocky thing in Essex There's only one player ever in the history of Colchester United Southend is a legend, allegedly a legend voted by both sets of fans. Just and South. That's me.
Aye,
So,
you're in the Hall of Fame, eh? Aye.
left the mark. And Dad always said I left the mark at BMW. Guess what? When I left BMW, come to live in Spain, number one.
Aye. I don't know if he meant leave a mark on their faces or with elbows, eh? I don't know if that was fully what he meant.
Funny one. I threw one actually against the Dick when I was a player manager. Someone earlier or in my media. I remember the send off at Preston. I'm the player manager, and the Liberty behind me, and I threw half an elbow, and he went down like a bag of shit. But I can safely say, after the Tony Pulis sending off, when I tried to kung fu.
But he spat at you the game before, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, about 8 months before, and it took 8 months. And when his first touch, he controlled it: ankle, knee, thigh, chest. The ball was about chin high, and he's only about 5'7". Right, I'll never forget this day. Right in front of the dugouts, and if I tell you, before the game, Bobby Moore was chatting to the lads, and someone said, "Oh, big man, that Pulis." I told him he spat on my face, and Sir Bobby said, Roy said, "You won't let me down, will you?" I went, "Spot a million years," because I love Bobby, right? 7 minutes 32 seconds. He had a crack touch. I tried to kung fu his head off. It was when Bruce, the dragon, was floating around, so it stuck forward. If I kung fu the ball, I'll follow through and kung fu his head off. So 7 minutes 32 seconds, straight red.
And what did Bobby say to you after that?
He just looked and shook his head. Bob loved me. He used to buy
But
my
he knew deep down. Now that you're older and you look back, he knew deep down what he got for you all the time, and it was going back to 100% all the time. Eh? And that was part of what came with you as a footballer and a person. Eh?
Well, listen, another things that you go back over your career. Mickey Stead was a real stalwart. Said played 500-600 games. He had a taxi driver. He's had a problem 18 months ago. I couldn't get back for his testimonial charity match to make money. But someone in a podcast where everyone said, "Mick, who was the player that stood out the most for you in the dressing room?" And he said, "Me." He said he was a classic leader, and he led by example. He was great in front of all the players in the dressing room. What a fucking compliment that is.
Well, you take that all day long, eh? I mean, as a young lad growing up in, like you said, Solihull and that, to then have fucking Bobby Moore turning around and giving you that compliment, eh? Yeah. Brilliant. So moving on, right? I'm just looking here, right? You also worked alongside David Moyes as well, eh? I believe that was at Cambridge, eh? You weren't a great fan of him, eh?
Well, they in this day, I think they go down in history the worst team Cambridge United ever had. And Moyes, centre half from Glasgow. We had Alan Comfort signed the day I signed from Exeter. Alan Comfort signed from QPR, little left winger. Was it QPR? Sure, it was. And we signed someone else. The fans put money together to make our signings. Graham Daniels is still the chief. What do you call him? The chapel of something for the PFA. Alan, born again Christian, and so was Moisey. And we'd dressing room, we're bottom of the table. We're fighting the world in back, or I was, to try and stay up. Steve Spriggs, Steve Fallon, Tom Finney. We had good players on the pitch. On paper, we had good players. Moisey, 6'3" pussycat. So the only story I'll only say the whole thing. We had some run-ins. We played Wigan away. We got beat 4-3. Three big centre halves: Colin Methven, Tony Kelly. Can't remember the other lad. They're spitting at me with fighting blow. It was 3-3. We get beat 4-3. So I'm not happy with Moyes in Alan Cummings Bible bashers. I had that rammed down my throat as a kid at school as a junior, like the Church of England crap. So on the way back on the coach, I've had a few beers. It was the 6x6, by the way, in our day, the drinking. You had to have 6 pints by 6 o'clock to be drinking squad to get on the coach to go home so you could drink beers. So that's quite cheeky, right? I'd had 6 pints of Stella. So get on the coach, I see Moisey sat there, Alan Comfort, Graham Daniels, and one of the youngsters at the back. And I said to Spriggsy, he was a good player, Steve Spriggs, good player, and Steve. And I said, I can't have this. I've got to go and tell him, big man, what he said. I've got to tell him. What you do? I said, follow me, watch. So I've got a pint of 7 minutes. I brought the pint glass from the bar. They sat there. I said, listen, see you. Something's got to happen here. I appreciate your Bible bashing, which I can't have. I said all that. But I said, see you, Graham Daniels. Nice kid, mate. Lovely, lovely lad. Just had a baby, and his contract expired in about 3 months' time. What's going to happen to you, mate, when your contract expires at the end of the season? What are you going to do? I said, because the way things are going, you ain't going nowhere. He went,
No.
Mother's life. He looked up to the roof of the coach and went, he will provide for us.
Oh,
I looked at me, I went, fuck me, is this for real? I looked at Moyes, Alan Comfort, I said, so you two are the same team as him, correct? They went, yeah. I said, sorry about swearing. I said, best you lot all fuck off out of this place.
Aye.
Give us a chance to get Sale. But
Aye.
Moyes was a born-again Christian.
Aye, you're up against it. Eh? I mean, I would have loved to have seen you in the Crazy Gang team. I think you would have fitted in there brilliantly with Wimbledon. Did you, during your time, I mean, were you still playing when that was on the go then, the Crazy Gang? And how did you...
The big media thing, the media was getting bigger, but really Crazy Gang. I'm looking at Vinnie Jones, a bit of a pussy, to be honest. I played against the two centre half. Brian Gale was an handful. Andy, I might be wrong here. Andy Thorne and Brian at the back.
And Brian, who? Sorry, say that again, Brian.
Brian Gale, Gayle. Brian Gale went to Ipswich, and Andy Thorne. I had fun with it. It was relentless. Heading, in elbows, blah blah blah. But in general, again, the media jumped on that. The players, told you players, you know, the little fella, Dennis Wise was a little shit, and find people because he'd top you, he'd niggle at you. But in general, over 90 minutes, you and your teammates would sort him out all day long. Vinny was a bully. Vinny would only go in 100% when the player was hanging out to dry. And the example I'll give you, he finished Gary Stevens' career at Tottenham. Gary's his right foot on the ball. Vinny went full body weight through his standing leg. For no reason apart from make out to be a tough guy. Finished his career. Didn't have to do it. No need to do
he's just trying to point at the fans and point at the audience, and you can see right through it.
100%. And that's, you know what, again, players know. Played against him 2 or 3 times, the so-called tough guys, Big Sam Allardyce, Mick McCarthy. You're back in to get the ball off the goalkeeper and you're backing in early in the game. Tap on the arse. You're right, big man. What do you mean? Thought he was a tough guy.
Aye.
You're right, big man. Because they know if they try not to get me on side, they got 90 having a row.
Aye, they're just trying to poke the bear, eh?
Absolutely.
And then they moan about it when they've got a bust nose and you've gave them the reaction they're looking at.
Well, listen, I always say that. Don't be a coward. Don't make out you're a tough guy. If you're going to be tough, let's just get the ball knocked in here. Let's put our heads together for an hour and a half and see what happens. Pussy's out there. So cool.
So could I ask you, right? Just we're looking here at Colchester. You also won the FA Trophy and you got promoted. But I believe the year before that you missed out on promotion, but then you got promoted. Was that the highlight of your career? I mean, playing at that level and getting promoted up, or what was your time like at Colchester? 4 years you were there, eh?
Literally in Atkins, I was there in the early 80s, late 70s, 80s with Bobby Roberts, and when I walked out, did okay, and then my contract expired. The manager offered me a crap contract. I had 15 clubs want to sign me that summer. No, I'm thinking, what the fuck am I doing? And I'm not going to met a ginger girl, a red, and never seen a red one before. I was about 21. I said, what's that? And it was, I went, Jesus, collar and cuffs match. I went, blind, that was lovely. The reason I signed for Southend because I like this bird. Hull City, Bristol City, Bristol. I could have gone anywhere, but I stayed in Exeter, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But that's all. After going to Southend, went to Exeter, Cambridge, Southend back again. Then Ian Atkins, I got my mate from back home. Colchester was player manager, so he's back about November from Southend. Dave Webb did me a big favour. He gave me a free transfer. We did a player swap with a lad called Morris Scott. Ian signed him from Cardiff for somewhere like that. So Morris Southend for nothing, and I went to Colchester to work with my best mate from back home, Ian Atkins. Right. Well, we were doing all right. I'd scored quite a few goals to start with, and then we played Altrincham at home about 5 games to go. We were in the top 3. I've had a volley at goal from 8 yards, and my right foot exploded, and there's blood squirting out me. 16 stitches. trotted off. I couldn't play anymore. I missed the last 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
We barred it by 2 points, but we lost 3 of the last 5 games. And Ian, hard for Ian because a mate of mine lived in my house.
Mm-hmm.
So that summer, Ian went back to Birmingham as an assistant manager. I get the play. So cut the story short, the lads all love me. We got 10 months, we got 129 goals, 22 clean sheets. I got 29 goals, top goal scorer. McGavin, who I sold to Birmingham later on, got 26. We in the front 3 alone, 29, 20, 49, 55. We got 73 goals between the front 3.
That's scary, eh? I mean, you imagine their stats nowadays.
Exactly. And listen, most of the assists, I reckon I'll claim 70% assists, because if we couldn't play down the channels to McGavin, I said, hit me on the angle. I'll edge it in the blah, blah, blah. That cut the story short. So we win the league last game of the season. We beat Barrow 5-0. The big battle was me and Martin O'Neill, because Mike Wycombe Wanderers.
That's right, aye.
42 quid on that team. I got Paul Roberts, my old teammate from Southend. Fisher Athletic, got him, was a key signing. Cost me 42 quid. A bag of balls and a set of kit for the first team at Fisher. We won the double. We won at Wembley. Martin and we won 3-1 at Wembley to win the league and cup double. And Martin O'Neill on live TV said, we all know about McDonough. He's a liar. He's arrogant. He called me a cheating so-and-so. Looking back, should have took him to court, because that's defamation shit, because we've done the double. But I'm a bit naughty. Now look at Martin, makes me laugh. He's got a good sense of humour. But because we're ahead trying to win the league, it got more than personal. And where he got it wrong, the local press man at Wycombe Wanderers, who wrote all the articles for Wycombe in that league, lived in Colchester.
What the fuck?
So he told me, he sent me all the stories, sent me all the paper cuttings, so I'd answer it back in a sly way. Well, really? Yes, they got. So that became, but the killer line for that season was, Sky TV said to me on the Thursday, we tossed the coin to see what dressing rooms we got. And he tossed the coin, blah, blah. He said, off record, he said, Roy, you do realise, don't you? You'll become the second player manager in the history of English football to win the league and cup double. Oh, he went, no, he said, yeah. He said, Kenny Dalglish was the first, you'll become the second. And that's exactly what happened. And I said, well, I'll mention me in the same sense as Kenny Dalglish. He said, but Roy, and that's what it was.
Unbelievable, eh? Aye, unreal. I mean, if I was to ask you, right, which team would you like to join and which manager would you like to work under? Like, you never worked under, who would you choose?
Back in my day.
Yeah, I mean, Cloughie's been to be up there and characters like that, eh? But
you know what I was saying to a lad the other day, Nottingham Forest fan, in a bar, and he said, talk about Cloughie. I said, you know what, I played for Walsall in the Central League, blah, 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 but we played Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. I'm playing reserves with a lot of kids against Nottingham reserves. Cloughie's at the game. So I played centre-half, I was a captain. And we got beat 2-1, blah, blah, blah. Cloughie pulled me, and I'll be proud of this and all, like Sir Alf said, you're a jolly good footballer. He said, big man, what's your name? I went, Roy. He said, Roy, can I just tell you, what you've just did out there was outstanding. Because I had the kids, do this, do that, blah. He said, all I can just say to you is, you're a good footballer, mate, but that was outstanding. Because it looks after the kids. Nice.
It's frightening, eh? If you could ask you, right, just before we round up then, right, you're looking at, I always do this with all my guests, right, a 4-4-2 formation of the best players you played with.
Really?
I know.
So you want a team?
Yeah.
So
best goalkeeper. So who was your best goalkeeper?
Paul Sampson, Southend.
Right.
He was class. Crikey. See, if it was me, I'd play 3-5-2, but 4-4.
Do that then. Do it under the 3-5-2. Do a 3-5-2.
Okay, back 3, because I like the centre back splitting to get the ball off the keeper. Oh, I ain't going to lie. Davey Martin, ex-Millwall. Dave on loan to me at Colchester. He'd done his cruciates for Southend, the first division championship club. Jason Dazelle done him. He come on loan to me for 3 months. The hardest, toughest player I've ever played with.
Yeah.
Never against him. So Davey Martin. Crikey. See, I'll go back to Southend. Yeah, he weren't bad. So Davey Martin, 100%. I'd have to say Paul Clark. games for Southend as a sweeper. Davey would mark. I'd have Clarkey behind. Then the left side centre back. Blimey. That's a good question, mate. It's great.
Difficult, It's difficult.
Yeah, it's crikey. So left. There you are. Here's one for you. Left side centre. Kenny Burns.
Yep, right. Okay.
Burns played backhand up front. Burns was great at the back. Not Forest. So blimey midfield. Howard Kendall.
Yep. How good was he? I mean, looking at me, obviously, I missed all that era. I mean, how good was he?
Unbelievable. They say to us, in Howard, for Birmingham City cricket team for Birmingham, opened the batting, we'd get 200 between us. No one could get us out. We're the best football cricket team in Birmingham. But Howard, uncapped player in English football. So Howard Kendall.
Right, scary.
Would they have a drink, by the way?
No, I bet you.
Hold on. You know, here's one. So in the midfield fight, I'd go, but Grovesy weren't a wing back. Howard Kendall centre midfield. Let me go front two. Trevor Francis, obviously, up front.
Yep. We had a wee chat about him. He was the first £1 million transfer, I believe, between British clubs. They ended up coming up to Glasgow Rangers as well,
Lovely bloke. What a lovely man. Lovely man. Lovely. Trevor. Too nice to be in football as a manager. Didn't do great as a manager, but lovely. So Trevor up front. You know what? This sounds bollocks, but as a good mix. And we did well. We got 14 goals in 7 pre-season friendlies at Birmingham. The season they signed Birchin, me and Trevor. I was only 18. So I'd play up front with Trevor.
Right. Brilliant,
Then, here's one. So Howard Kendall, Mark Kinsella. I give Kinsella his debut at Colchester when he was 18. He went on to captain his country in the World Cup.
He was Irish, is that right? Yeah.
Trudy, Mark Kinsella.
Aye, that's right,
Blimey. Here's one. And it was schoolboy stuff, and watch counts. Gordon Cowans, for fuck's sake. Gordon Cowans, I played with Gordon for 2-3 years. He couldn't get in the Whites team. I was the number 1 player. And he come in what he did. So Gordon Cowans. So I've now got 2 wing backs, haven't I?
That's fine.
I'd have to say, I played Grovesy on the right-hand side with his long throw.
Sorry, go and say that again. There was a fucking motorbike went flying by there. Who was that, sorry?
Every Groves.
Right, cool.
He was my boot boy when he was 17 at Colchester. For his long throw, and he could run. I wouldn't ask him to track back.
No.
So for a left side midfield player. Southend. No. Here's one that blast from the past. He went on to play for England. And Sinton.
Right. Brilliant.
He was at Cambridge as a kid, 18, went on to play for England. Andy Sinton. That ain't a bad side on paper.
One thing I've all noticed, right? Every single player that you've named, they're an honest person that you'd go to the trenches with, in the dressing room with, and I bet you could drink a hell of a pints as well between you.
Well, apart from Trevor, because Trevor was a pussy.
Did he not drink much, no?
Who got it right? He was the first £1 million player. He made millions. Who got it right?
That's why, he was ahead of his time with that,
Yeah.
Well, listen, right, it's been absolutely amazing. Thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to chat with you. What I'll do, right, is if you wouldn't mind, I'll get the video edited. I'll send you over a copy, and if you wouldn't mind resharing it on social media, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But Roy, it's been an absolute pleasure.
When you send it, you'll have to maybe help me. I can do it on Facebook, but TikTok, I'll do it. Not a problem.
We'll work it out. I'll converse with you offline and that. We'll have a wee chat and we'll get it sorted out. But listen, Roy, thanks very much. Absolute pleasure to chat with you, mate. Thanks again. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Right, thanks, buddy. Cheers.
Bye-bye.